Hello, welcome to Some Notes on Style. I'm your host Joseph. This week we're going to be taking a look at how Continental style can be achieved at three different price points with a high, mid, and entry-level brand. Now, Continental style is a term not frequently used these days. It's generally defined as a bit of an old world style of dressing with a slight European edge. It takes nods to the best traditional British fabrics, Italian tailoring, and general Mediterranean nonchalance. Probably today's clearest display of Continental dressing can be seen twice a year at Italy's Pitti Uomo, which in its truest form is a trade show presenting collections of a range of Italian brands, and not necessarily high fashion brands. Generally they're more ready to wear, and for the most part have somewhat of a nod toward classic Italian tailoring. Over the years, the annual event has certainly turned into a spectacle parade of finely dressed Italian characters. If you're not familiar with Pitti, I highly recommend you do a Google or YouTube search on the subject for some wonderful inspiration if you enjoy tailored clothing. And since the most recent show took place a few weeks ago, there is a fresh batch of inspiration to comb through, although some years are admittedly better than others. Generally though, it got me to thinking about traditional Continental style and how one of the hallmarks of this way of dressing is that it really can provide a broad range of interpretations within its own language, which allows for those who dress in this way to achieve this look from a wide variety of collected sources. And ultimately, none of those pieces must be dictated by their price. So with today's video, I'd like to show you guys that we can start from the very peak of luxury tailoring with items almost prohibitively expensive and exclusive to the very wealthiest of the world, and work our way down to some of the most affordable and obtainable brands. And I'd like to set the challenge that by the end of the video, you all can see that a good classic style can be carved out at any price, and that at the end of the day, it becomes quite difficult to distinguish the difference. Now, of course, I am fully aware that price and quality do for the most part go hand in hand with some of these retailers, so obviously if you were to pick these garments up in person, you would instantly be able to tell the difference between a highly refined Loro Piana cashmere and some H&M wool polyblend suit. But just for the sake of argument, let's just look at these clothes visually and try to challenge ourselves to think of how to pair these items to achieve a more refined outcome nonetheless. Okay, the luxury budget price point. Right out the gate, we're going to start with the cream of the crop. We've got a very refined mix of Monday through Thursday work week looks that root themselves in a mix of odd jackets, trousers, shirts, and ties. Keeping the colors nice and neutral in shades of tans, browns, beiges, and creams, we can maintain a very elevated and sophisticated style which lends itself to a way of living which may not require a great deal of situations where you might stain your white pants. This is a gentleman of means. And for the first look, we got a handful of pieces from one of the most exclusive Italian tailoring houses, Cesare Attolini, who not only works in very refined materials, but meticulously crafts every garment by hand, with this wonderful cream herringbone double-breasted topcoat coming in at $7,900, a beautifully refined cotton shirt at $650, and a 7-fold wool necktie at $295. The language of Attolini instantly sets the stage for refined neutrals being the standard of luxurious tailoring. Throw in the wonderful reversal classic from Jaeger Le Couture at $11,200, and this first outfit clocks in at a whopping $26,656 head to toe. Now, both the light gray wool suit in this look and the tan Glen plaid cashmere jacket in the next look come from another wonderful Italian tailoring house, Belvest, who create beautifully unstructured jackets and suits, which they call the Jacket in the Box collection because they are so unstructured and softly tailored that they are presented gently folded in a box, much like a soft, finely tailored dress shirt, because they are so exquisitely thin. The suit came in just under $3,000, and this cashmere jacket comes in at $3,292. So yes, they are incredibly expensive, obviously. However, surprisingly, when you compare this to, say, a single-breasted Louis Vuitton suit coming in at $3,700, the price point is not nearly as out of touch considering the incredible craftsmanship and material. Another element of luxury I'd like to point out throughout a handful of these looks are the socks from Loro Piana, which are offered in a range of silk cashmere and cashmere qualities ranging from $250 all the way up to $1,725 for baby cashmere. Cashmere socks sound like one of the most frivolous things you could possibly purchase, but if money is no object, why not keep your toesers in some of the finest materials known to man? With this third look, a nod toward warmer days ahead and soft shades of taupes and creams, this beautifully unstructured Brunello Cucinelli jacket coming in at $5,495, some cashmere corduroys from Loro Piana, and a handful of Attolini pieces and a hand-tailored dress shirt and cashmere pocket square. Now, I'm certainly not much of a watch guy, and I realize this is a world of luxury all into its own. I just tried to pick things that seemed to coincide with the style and price point. I really like this Patek Philippe 18 karat gold number coming in at $23,400 for a nice refined flashy gold watch. That helps to kick up the overall price of this outfit to $33,560 for the day. And then for the casual Thursday, another study in tonality, in this case with a beautiful double-breasted wool flannel jacket from Rubinacci. Some of the very finest originators of the Neapolitan unstructured tailoring style. Dressing that down with a cotton polo shirt from Kiton at $1,620, that must be a very soft cotton. And keep a little visual interest in the look, I've thrown in another accessory from Attolini, in this instance a beautiful cotton and cashmere scarf for a subtle pattern play and visual texture. With a more casual look, I've gone with a chunkier watch from Chopard in 18 karat rose gold coming in at $37,800 for a casual Thursday grand total of $44,118. Obviously the watch contributes substantially in that figure. Next up for a casual Friday affair, if you'd still like to put the look together, it maintains a bit of refinement and still has a comfortably soft touch, you've got this beautiful Xenia cashmere polo sweater coming in at $1,950 against the skin, and layered over that is a one-of-a-kind Kiton beaver cashmere utility jacket coming in at $12,180. I'm sure the beaver cashmere is a material that feels as soft as a cloud, but I'm not sure what kind of utilities you'll be working on at that price. And to finish out this touchably soft outfit, down below we've got the Loro Piana cashmere and wool blend jersey lounge pants coming in at $2,850. And to keep those doggies nice and chilled out, you've got some Loro Piana walk sneakers down below. In this case, they are also made out of a finely knit woven cashmere upper for the ultimate in luxury sneakers. Next up for a Saturday stroll around town, we've got a beautiful Brunello Cucinelli cashmere and silk top coat and a tan herringbone coming in $11,500, a Tom Ford wool cashmere and mohair cable knit turtleneck sweater, and once again a visit to Loro Piana to redefine luxury with their signature cash denim. Now granted, these dad jeans come in at $1,475, but for as boring as they look, I'm sure you will never feel another pair of jeans this soft again in your life. Then finally, for a smartly dressed Sunday, we've got a Tom Ford suede jacket at $9,490 with a little bit of a sporty edge with the trucker details, a cashmere cardigan sweater, and another Loro Piana piece in this form of a silk shirt coming in at $1,250. With this kind of luxury, you really got to keep those fine materials close to the body. So with these looks, generally, I just want to emphasize that sure, you can go out and buy a high fashion designer piece for probably more or less the same price, but with these exclusive Italian tailoring brands, the luxury comes from both the exclusivity of these highly refined materials, the level of inherent unmatched craftsmanship, and the unparalleled timeless style, which you will find nowhere else in the world. Next up, the mid-range price looks. So with these looks, there are a few brands which I cannot sing the praises of enough. First off, very nicely made, attainably priced, unstructured jacket. Here's my old favorite, LBM 1911, who make jackets on the first and third looks as well as the suit on the fourth look. The materials are lightweight and refined, but ultimately it's their lack of heavy padding or canvassing which helps to keep these jackets fitted like a nicely made shirt. Similar to the jacket in the box from Belvest, but at a much more reasonable price, usually between $800 and $1,200. In this first look, I got a nice neutral taupey brown jacket layered over a lamb's wool cardigan vest from Drake's. I tried to pepper in a bit of color to play off that deep forest green, in this case with a rusty orange of the madder silk necktie from Shibumi, as well as their wool and silk pocket square. These guys are a relatively new house in the world of traditional Italian accessories, but what they lack in heritage, they more than make up for in very sophisticated, rich, colorful prints and patterns. Then in the second look, this coat and jacket comes from another brand which I find incredibly inspiring at this price point, which is the Spanish brand Man 1924 by Carlos Castillo. Castillo utilizes heavy-duty English fabrics and marries them with light construction and Italian tailoring for a really cool blend of rugged and refined. This model is their Kennedy jacket and coming in at $426, which is actually quite a good deal for such a refined product. Then to accent all of these rich neutrals and earth tones, I popped a light lavender spread collar Thomas Mason fabric dress shirt from Proper Cloth, who has a wide variety of customizable fit, collar, and detail options at $180. And to round out those touches of color, a silk necktie from Drake's and another beautiful pocket square from Shibumi. With this look totaling $5,507, we got quite a luxurious look, but not one so ridiculously priced it is unfathomable. And for the next look, we got a nod to that ultra luxurious neutral palette, in this case with another unstructured jacket from Tagliatore, a cream colored shirt from Proper Cloth, and some beautifully draped pleated cotton tencel trousers from Bogi at $198. Bogi is an Italian brand which is a little more ready to wear but offers fantastic basics at moderate prices. Next, a fun and colorful Thursday. Here I've got a poppy red-orange overcoat from Tagliatore at $938. It really sets the stage for some hits of color with the neutral tan Glen Plaid LBM 1911 double-breasted suit down below, a Spier&Mackay red striped dress shirt, and another richly patterned madder silk necktie from Shibumi. But what really pulls this all together is the wonderfully intricate and lightweight colorful wool and silk neck scarf from Drake's, coming in at $395. This piece helps to bridge the boldness of this overcoat with the neutrality of the underlayers down below by breaking up such a solid color with this touch of sophisticated pattern. Then for the next look, we've got a refined Friday with yet another intricate Drake's wool and silk scarf accenting a Drake's cotton canvas workwear jacket coming in at $695. These pieces are all showcased nicely with a foundation of a very subdued 100 hands for armory blue button-down Oxford shirt and a gray merino and cashmere cable knit sweater from Proper Cloth at $195. The suede polo style boots are from an up-and-coming new Italian brand called Velasca, who in addition to a nice refined line of ready-to-wear makes some beautiful footwear in a wide range of styles. Then for the next look, a Todd Snyder wool herringbone raglan sleeve overcoat layers beautifully over the browns and tans of this Buck Mason wool shawl collar cardigan at $298, and a classic Ralph Lauren polo down below in deep chocolate brown. Throw all this on over some Sid Mashburn cream colored denim at $175 and some Suit Supply suede driving moccasins at $329, and you've got a casual, sporty, rugged, and refined look all in one. And for the final look, a bit of a comparison price with this outfit. In this case, we've got a suede A1 style jacket from the brand Valstar coming in at $1,475, layered over Chamula for Drake's merino wool cable knit fisherman sweater at $575, throwing on some rag and bone blue jeans and another beautiful pair of hiking style boots from Velasca at $392. Accent all of this with a Tissot chronograph at $2,125, and we got a grand total of $4,882 for the complete look. And finally, here's the entry-level price point budget looks. Once again, regardless of how much the pieces cost, I think that when you look at these tailored weekday outfits pulled together, you can see as long as you're conscious of your color palette and the eclectic pairing of your accessories, ultimately some very sophisticated looks can be made with brands that offer affordable entry market pricing with the slightest nods towards something a little bit more refined. And at this price point, my secret weapon brand, which I personally gravitate to most, is Mango. Now, if you haven't heard of them, Mango is a Spanish brand which always seems to come in far behind its more popular competitors, Zara and H&M, but for my money, they do some of the best, most affordable unstructured jackets, sharp dress shirts, fitted dressy chinos, and very tasteful range of footwear. Now, with regard to their jackets, they will make them out of linens or cottons or wool poly blends, so the material is obviously not necessarily as refined as their Italian neighbors, but at the end of the day, they are very conscientious of little to no shoulder padding or canvassing, which does not attempt to try to mimic something overly structured or refined, which would require a great deal of tailoring skill, which brands at this price point simply cannot achieve. With these jackets, less is more. So for this first look, we've got an unstructured wool blend coming in at $229, layered under a waterproof nylon jacket for the same price. Also pay close attention when Mango goes on sale, because often you can get these things at $100 or less at the end of the season. And accenting these rich earth tones once again with a pop of dusty blue, in this case from a striped Oxford shirt from Spier&Mackay. The necktie was a bit of a struggle at this price point because for most fast fashion brands, the ties are absolute crap. However, I came across this brand called Bows and Ties, an iffy name, but nonetheless offers some nice subtle neckwear in wool, linen, and silk blends. And this is part of the trick to getting a more expensive looking necktie at a budget. Be very conscious of material. You do not want anything with the slightest bit of shine. Stick to any material which can help to keep a matte finish to the neckwear. Pair that with a soft neutral color or a subtle pattern, and it can instantly help to make the necktie look much more expensive than, in this case, coming in at $18. I'd be really curious to see it in person, which admittedly I have not, but with these tricks in play, I'd venture to bet that this is a much better choice than anything you would buy at H&M. Some suede Chelsea boots from Zara at $90 help to keep the look more elevated with a touch of true natural leather, and this really cool wool pocket square from Cordings coming in at $50 looks considerably more expensive than it is. Accessories like this can help to elevate the entire outfit by paying close attention to the details. Other items can feel equally as elevated by comparison. Some poppy orange sunglasses from Mango at $50 also help to throw in a punch of fun and keep the traditional look a little bit lighter. For the next day, we got a beautiful waterproof barber style jacket from Zara coming in at $160, layered over another Mango wool blend unstructured jacket for $270. A soft lavender gingham check shirt from Charles Tyrwhitt has a nicely structured collar, which you cannot find at your local H&M and Zara, so this is worth the splurge. Here's another small tip, at least for those of you here in the States. I found, although the website lists the shirt at $119, if you do a quick Google search for Charles Tyrwhitt dress shirt, you can find the entire site's range on sale for $40. I'm not sure if this is a glitch or what the deal is, but I have never paid full price for one of their shirts by simply Googling it first. I paired that with another linen and silk necktie from Bows and Ties, a cashmere cardigan sweater from ASOS coming in at $139, all this thrown over some probably wool blend pants from Zara at $70, which do a pretty good job at visually recreating a classic pair of gray flannels. Then for more urban day and the city-like look, H&M have a very nice looking wool blend double-breasted jacket and pants coming in at around $250 total. I'm sure in person this probably leaves a little bit of interpretation as to its quality, but if the material looks nice enough, which I think it does, sometimes you can play some tricks by visiting your local tailor, and if they do good work at an affordable price, you can make sure it fits you well. And sometimes I remove the shoulder pads because H&M's tailored jackets always seem to have this very cheap, overly structured shoulder pad, which can be quite a dead giveaway for a cheap suit. But all this being said, I have not seen the suit in person, so please take my advice with a grain of salt, but just something to keep in mind. Then over this is a nice wool overcoat from Mango coming in at $260. It has the details of something much more expensive than that. And once again, something about these soft blue shirts contrasted with all these deep earth tones feels very sophisticated right now, especially when it's accented with this rich silk and wool necktie from J. Crew coming in at $80. The scale, motif, and color palette feels incredibly refined. Then for the next look, I found a few remaining pieces of the J.W. Anderson for Uniqlo collaboration. In this case, this fantastic wool blend herringbone topcoat layered over a quince Mongolian cashmere camel sport coat at $300? For a cashmere sport coat, this price is unheard of. Quince seems to be a real master of incredible quality materials at reasonable prices. So if any of you all have seen this jacket in person, please let me know. I am very curious. But elevating all that up with a tonal camel wool blend sweater from Mango and a little bit of chambray down below for a high-low mix, and that touch of pattern thrown in with this John Henrik wool scarf at $49, looking much more expensive than it is. Next up, for a casual weekend look with a quilted down jacket from Mango at $150 in this deep olive shade, keeping it looking much more sophisticated than your typical generic black down jacket. Throwing that over an H&M wool polo shirt and some Uniqlo selvage denim jeans at $50, this look might seem a bit basic, but sometimes subtle and classic also go a long way in reading something as being more expensive than it is. Then next up, for that reoccurring fisherman sweater comparison, I don't know if you all have noticed, I've got a version at every price point and I'm not seeing a great deal of difference between them. In this case, a luxuriously soft cotton number from LL Bean coming in at $89. Layered under a Uniqlo unstructured wool blend overcoat at $130, throw on some wool blend flannel style pants from Mango at $119, and some rich brown leather Chelsea boots from Zara at $90. And with the watch, this total look comes to $1,397, but looks considerably more expensive than that. And finally, for the next comparison item, the suede jacket. This one also comes from Mango, who do excellent leather and suede pieces every season. This one coming at $339, as well as some pants and a shirt coming in at 70 bucks a pop. A nice chunky ribbed wool sweater from Zara. Another very sophisticated looking silk scarf from John Henrik at $59, and some leather penny loafers from Mango at $140. With that, we've got 3 price points of Continental dressing for y'all to compare and contrast. Like I said, I did not mean to discriminate against the insanely exorbitant prices of the first batch, because I feel like with the selection I presented you, the prices are denoted by their inherent quality and not some luxury logo branding determining their value. With the mid and entry level price points maintaining the same degree of sophistication, I really hope to instill that the challenge I presented myself with these assortments and what I presented you guys is that at the end of the day, the looks I put together are not incredibly obvious as to which one goes with what price. In other words, I hope that I've shown that a sophisticated Continental inspired style can be had regardless of your budget, and that one of the best attributes of Continental dressing is that by pulling together a mix match of sophisticated, well-made, well-chosen odds and ends, that with a careful eye for detail, this style of dressing provides a lot of room for interpretation through layering subtle colors, patterns, and materials so that items picked up from a wide range of brands and prices can be mixed together for a sophisticated look which never screams cheap or expensive. And ultimately, a gentleman with a well-appointed wardrobe of classic staples with elements of personality and accessories can provide a lifetime's worth of combinations and looks. So with that, if y'all are enjoying the video, please do give me a thumbs up, and if you're enjoying the channel, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you'd like to help support the channel and would like to receive the monthly Some Notes on Style notebook directly to you in your mailbox, filled with inspirational imagery corresponding with each month's episodes, please visit the Patreon link in the description down below and become a Distinguished Gentleman contributor. For those of you who already have, I thank you greatly and appreciate your contributions. And if you're just along for enjoying the video, I appreciate that too. Once again, the channel is Some Notes on Style. I'm your host, Joseph. See you again next time, guys. Bye.